It being 5:06 PM on today, Monday, what's the date?
September 15th.
September 15th, 2025. Please note that this is a public hearing with the Planning Board for the Town of Bourne. This meeting is being recorded for live broadcast and televised replay by Bourne TV. If anyone is audio or visual recording, please acknowledge at this time. Thank you, Owen. We are also available through the Zoom meeting. The meeting ID is 849-5326-4749, passcode 274015. And you can dial by location at 929-205-6099. All items within the agenda are subject to deliberation and votes. So we will call to order the open session. The sole agenda item for this evening is the public hearing on the proposed zoning bylaw amendments for the special town meeting to be held on October 20th, 2025. The proposed amendment is to add a multifamily overlay district, the MFOD, in downtown Buzzards Bay. With that, I will let Jennifer Copeland, our town planner, give us the highlights of the changes.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. I can actually put the proposed zoning bylaw changes online, and I'll just walk over there and upload it so the people in the audience can see.
Oh, that'd be really great, actually. Yeah, I think that's helpful. I actually sometimes like watching on Zoom because I can see things,
I know, it's big.
right? Yeah.
Do you want me to go through the presentation again? No. Through the presentation quite a bit at a lot of the different planning board meetings and the select, actually planning board meetings and the housing trust and the housing partnership. But just a quick summary of this, in January of 2021, the Massachusetts legislature adopted an economic development bond bill that made changes to the zoning act. So the new law is Chapter 40A of Mass General Law, and it's Section 3A. And it requires MBTA communities, It requires MBTA communities to have at least one zoning district of reasonable size in which multifamily housing is permitted as of right. The MBTA communities law creates zoning that encourages the new missing middle housing in areas served by public transit. Housing created under this law provides opportunities for people to live, work, and thrive in walkable neighborhoods closer to transit. Bourne is one of 177 communities that are required under the MBTA zoning law to create zoning for multifamily housing. And the planning board obviously has selected the downtown district of Buzzards Bay in order to be compliant with the MBTA Communities Act. So there's a multifamily overlay district, and we have a multifamily overlay map as well. So it's just one proposed zoning bylaw, which I have up on the screen that I'm sharing with everybody. And it's amendment for review and consideration at the October 20th special town meeting. And I can go through this. This adds a new section to 110 types of districts. So it's a multifamily overlay district. The purpose of it, and I did add town council's comments to that first paragraph. You can see the multifamily overlay district is to allow multifamily housing as of right in accordance with Section 3A of the Zoning Act, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A. The district is to create a higher density of multifamily housing in the downtown near public transit to promote an environment that's desirable place to live, work, and socialize. All regulations of the underlying district shall apply, except to the extent that any such requirement is specifically modified or supplemented by the MFOD. The summary of the zoning article is that it addresses the need to create the missing middle housing options for people with incomes too high for income-restricted affordable housing, but too low for single-family homes. It creates a multifamily overlay district with 2 areas, Area 1 and Area 2. And it would allow for multifamily housing, that's with 3 or more units, and as well as 2 family dwellings to be permitted by right. Site plan review is still required, and the parking requirements for the multifamily dwelling is reduced from 1.5 spaces per home to 1 space per home. And the base residential density is increased to meet the minimum requirements of 15 units per acre. So the next page I'll go to is section, what we did, because the multifamily overlay district, MFOD, is within the downtown district of Buzzards Bay, we created a new section 2821A, which comes after the use table, and it allows for a new use for apartment buildings and workforce housing to be permitted by right. It also adds in functional standards. And then this is section 2821. It amends the 2 family dwellings to allow them to be permitted by right. Before, it required a special permit. And base residential density, it comes out to, in the bylaw, 25 units per acre, but the net density is 16.6 homes per acre, and a capacity of 750 homes. And then section 2835 changes the amount of parking spaces from 1.5 spaces to 1 space. And then we would insert the MFOD map at the end of the section.
Oh, at the end of this, right, in the warrant.
In the zoning bylaw.
Oh, okay.
Right, we're
Gotcha.
saying insert a new map.
Okay.
like how we
Will
did-
it be available, though, at the meeting, too?
It'll be, yes, it will be an appendix to the warrant. It'll be like an additional handout.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that in a prior.
Yeah, and I think that
Very
summarizes
good,
it.
yeah, I think you summarized it well. Dave, do you have any
No questions. Very well
Any
done.
other questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I just have 2.
Liz?
One is, I think you did a really good job with the net density thing, which is kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I know that there was a discussion the other night when I was watching on Zoom, and I thought, this is making me nervous, but I thought you did it really well. So I
Okay.
just thought I wanted to let you know that. Whatever you just did, do that again.
Okay.
If you could remember.
We'll do that today, or
Right.
I can explain it to the audience as well.
And then I just wanted to ask, because I'm trying to make sure I will speak correctly, which is, I think in addition to the fact that we wanted that this had to be located near where the train would come, right? It also was desirable because we already have, like, we're not adjusting, this isn't a dramatic adjustment to what already exists. Is
Right.
that true?
Right,
Yeah,
it's
so
not.
the area for the MFOD, this is what I wrote down for myself. This area is chosen for the MFOD because the current zoning already allows
12 units per.
12 units. And we, felt like the adjustment would be more palatable and easier to take. Okay.
Yeah, and the goal of the downtown district is to create housing that's near public transit. Even though we are an MBTA community, we hope to have the commuter rail there in the future, and close to shops and restaurants, and that's where you want multifamily housing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
spent a day in Boston, had a great time walking all around.
Very good.
Do you want me to put the model up again to show people in the audience?
Where it is?
The maps,
I'm happy to do that, yep.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Any other comments from any of our other board members? Any comments?
Try to zoom this.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I just said not at this time.
Oh, thank you.
Jen, is that map going to be available as a handout?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Well, I have it in black and white. You mean at town meeting? I have it in black and white, and I'm gonna put it into the back of the,
Okay.
to the
The
appendix.
I think
appendix.
if I own property in the downtown, would I be able to determine if I'm in this zone or not? Is the black and white clear enough to show me that?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
It's in color on the website.
it's in color and in black and white on the website.
Yep.
Every time you have
Zoom
a
into
big
it.
plan or a model, someone says, where's my house? How does this affect me? Where am I on this plan? So,
Do you think maybe a poster board in the lobby might be a larger blow-up showing the colored areas? with-
Oh, absolutely, yeah, we'll
definition?
have that. I have it out there
Is that
right
out there now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
We'll
good.
also, yeah, we'll be at Canal Day as part of our outreach effort too. So
Oh,
we'll be
that's
there on
good.
Saturday.
Great.
Yep,
Really good.
handing out a lot of things, and everything is on the website under the Town of Bourne /planning, and it's right in the center there. There's the proposed language, the map, there's presentations, there's a lot of other materials, links to the state website that really helps explain it.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's more that if people are confused that they're going to be upset about, not upset, but, concerned. But I think if you understand it clearly, it's not huge. Sorry.
Catherine? Any comments from our our audience?
No, I think you guys did a good job though,
Yeah.
The state's not coming after you.
Great. Seeing none, we'd entertain a motion.
Excuse me, hello, I have my hand raised.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, this is John York, a resident of the town. I live in Katomet.
Welcome, John.
Jen, thanks for the presentation. I also saw the presentation by the consultant at the select board meeting 3 weeks ago, or whenever that was. So yes, Jen, your presentation tonight, your brief one, was pretty good. I have a couple of just details to go back to that presentation that maybe you could clear up for me. So when you said the capacity is 750, can you tell me, is that like the capacity of the largest single development, or is that the capacity total in the zone after which, like, the zoning bylaw doesn't apply anymore? What does capacity mean in that 750?
So that yields 750 homes. So I put the sheet up so you can see it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. There we go. So that's what it would yield. That's the capacity for both of Area 1 and Area 2.
So let me say this, and you can correct me if I got it wrong. So that's not a limit or restriction in the zoning bylaw. It's what you're estimating will be the number of units that will result from this bylaw. Is that correct?
Correct.
Or
Okay, great, thank you.
that could result.
Yeah,
too.
the
I mean, there's-
maximum.
Right, right. So,
Not everybody's going to do this.
right, when you explained at town meeting, when you just said capacity, it sounded like it was right in the zoning, like there's some kind of capacity at which something will be triggered. But it's not really that, it's just you're trying to envision, in a planning sense, what this will mean. Is that correct?
Right, that's what when all the information and the overlays, the core, the gateway, and the waterfront, when those models were put into the GIS and the compliance modeling, this was the output that came from it.
Right.
And so with the law itself, you're required to have a minimum of 15 units per acre, and for Bourne, our capacity is 557 units. But the model and the consultant recommended that you go do a little bit more than 15 units per the acre, because you can see we're netting 16.6 units per acre. Because you
Okay,
want to
okay,
make
but-
sure that you don't fall under the 15 and then
Right.
fall out of compliance.
Okay, so thank you. That definitely answers my technical questions. It's a little complicated, so you might, I don't have a magic bullet for how you could present that at town meeting, but, just be aware that when I heard it the first time, I didn't get all that nuance, so I'll just throw that out there. I won't solve the problem for you, or even say it's a big problem. I'll just throw that out there.
No, it's helpful, it's
Thank
very
you, yes,
helpful.
we've been discussing that too.
Yeah, so that was, I think that was pretty much the details that I was looking at there, but, so I have a more general question, which I did ask at the select board meeting and got an answer from the consultant. So my bigger question goes back to my understanding of how the requirements were set in the law, and the proximity to wherever the transit hub will be was often described as being walking distance. So the half mile or whatever it is. So the idea was you want to build this multifamily, obviously lower cost than individual houses, lower cost housing close to transit. So people who are, working stiffs like many of us who have to commute to work and use the transit will have an option. Let's say it's a working couple and they only have one car. One's going to take the transit. They can walk to and from the transit. So walking and pedestrians was kind of baked into the original concept. But the law, when it was written, didn't say that. And then the zoning bylaws that follow out of it don't say anything about pedestrians. They have a number of parking spaces for cars. But my concern is permitting multifamily units on some place that just has not well served by sidewalk or crosswalks. I know crossing, fortunately, when I look at your map, it's all south of the bypass. And we've had several pedestrian accidents on the bypass. Cars get on the bypass and they think they're on limited access road or something, they're not watching. So there are some places in our town where pedestrian issues are an issue. And I'm not suggesting you do put it in the bylaw, but as a planning board, when you're reviewing individual projects, I think you want to be careful to look and see if you're putting a bunch of this housing on a place that they don't, even just one weak link in the chain of pedestrian access from there to downtown, or we don't have a train station, we don't have commuter rail right now, but we do have a big park and ride in Sagamore and a smaller, I call it a park and ride, but I guess that technically you're not supposed to park your car there to take the bus at Trowbridge Road at the Bourne Rotary. So there might be people who are moving to this housing who are going to be commuting to Boston and walking to the bus over the bridge. So fortunately, with the rebuild of Belmont Rotary, there's good crosswalks and a good sidewalk up to the bridge and almost all the way to the park and ride, but the last stretch across Veterans Way and Trowbridge Road saw a very near fatality there a year and a half ago of a pedestrian who was living in multifamily housing near Clay Pond Road, who was walking to get the bus to go to work, which is exactly what this multifamily housing is supposed to be promoting, except it doesn't make a hard tie to that pedestrian access to the transit hub. So as a planning board, I think now that you're going to adopt this MFOD, you need to look at how those people can safely get to and from the only transit hubs we have right now, which is the park and ride on the Bourne side, would be people from this neighborhood would be accessing, and just how they get downtown. So it looks like there's pretty good access downtown, but if you get a project that's, say, right up near the bypass and right behind Job Lot, is there good sidewalk access, say, across the street to CVS, which I think there is now? But, so I'm just saying that as a planning board, you gotta be thinking pedestrian issues and looking for the problem spots as these projects come up. And I don't know what actual leverage you have with projects on that, but I'm just throwing that out there for something to be looked at. I'm a little bit long-winded, but I'm, as far as I can tell, the only guest here today, so. But I'll just say, when I asked this question at the select board meeting, because someone had an answer which I thought was very interesting. She said there is funding available from the state for pedestrian infrastructure once you have an MFOD and are a MBTA community. So that she said this MFOD will open you up to access those funds, but of course, someone in the town has to write the proposal and follow through and get the funds if there is a pedestrian project that we want to do associated with the MFOD. So I think that might fall into your lap as planning board also. And so that was the answer from the state side is, oh, we have these funds if you need to do something. That means someone from our town actually has to go through the steps to bring that funding in. I don't know if it's competitive or automatic if you meet certain requirements.
Thank you, John. Excellent comments, and yes, we did actually today in the office discuss trying to coordinate with the DPW to begin that process. And we want to take advantage of any and all of those funds available to help with access infrastructure. But yes, you were right. We first need to comply. That's been a long road. And we're also a smaller adjacent community, so the half-mile distance and some of those factors are much more flexible for Bourne than they might be for a major commuter town.
Right. I don't know with the grant funding, this is something you might be able to look into. So if we are a community and we comply, let's say we're also getting some multifamily housing outside of this zone. For example, the proposal at 9 Keene Street, that's another place where they might be walking to the bus. So I don't know if we can get infrastructure that's not strictly inside the MFOD to connect pedestrians to transit hubs or not, but that's another, if we can, I think that would be fantastic. I mean, there's some places in our town that could use that.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do think we think about it. So, yeah, it's good to bring it up, though, because it's,
What are you doing on every other Thursday night?
Yeah, you want to join the planning board, John?
Well, I can tell you for the next 2 months, I'm reading the 3,000 pages of the EI, Environmental Impact Report for the Bridges Project, and the pedestrian bicycle issues.
Yes. Yeah. Very good, very good. Well, thank you. Anyone else from our public that would like to make a comment or have a question? Any hands up that you can see?
I don't think there's anybody else.
Seeing none, back to the board. Any question or comments from the board? I guess we could entertain a motion to support the multifamily overlay district warrant article for this October 20th town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Liz. Any other questions, comments?
No.
We'll take a vote. Dan?
Yes.
Catherine?
Yes.
Liz? Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes.
Amanda?
Amanda?
Yes.
Yes. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
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 thank you.
Aye and bye sound a lot alike.